Welcome to the 2010 Human Relations Award Breakfast. I'm Maya Jerem, the current chair of the Human Relations Commission, or HRC as you'll hear us refer to it. Each year, the city sponsors and supports the recognition of outstanding contributions of community members to the greater good. I've only been on the HRC for a few years, but in that short time, I have never ceased to be amazed at what great things people in our community can do, and this year is no exception. In fact, it's been exemplary. The number of nominees has been outstanding, and in some ways we almost feel overwhelmed. And what's really remarkable is that despite these lean times, people have managed to contribute time, money, and effort to the extent and degree that they have this year. So truly, all of our nominees are inspirational. Now, this year's award ceremony has been dedicated to the memory of Mrs. Ann Azari. Ann was a pioneer and visionary who not only gave breath and life to the HRC in its inception, but she also defined and exemplified the phrase community builder. Hers is an example that myself and the other HRC members want to learn from and emulate, not only in our duties and jobs, but in our personal lives as well. This very quality is one which all of our nominees possess in spades, and for that reason alone, they deserve recognition. So if we could all give them a moment of applause. I'd also like to draw your attention to our centerpieces that are on most of the tables. These have been done by various participants through our city's own arts and recreation programs. The first one is Asianos, and it's a seniors group that targets low-income seniors. It meets here at the Northside Asset Lawn Community Center 2 days a week. Seniors participate in a number of activities that include bingo, field trips, as well as numerous social opportunities, and lunch is provided by Volunteers of America. Then we also have Art Discovery, which is a parent-child art class that meets once a week for 3 weeks. Participants explore different media and materials. There's also the after-school program, and it provides a safe place, tutoring, homework help, and fun, healthy activities for elementary students. There's also Schools Out Days. It's an extension of our ASP or after-school program, providing child care and activities for elementary-aged children on days school is not in session. So those snow days, that's where they go. Alphabet Soup is an early learning class that combines the learning of letters and letter sounds through crafts, songs, gym play, and games. Expressive Art is a hands-on learning class that mixes fun with exploring art, movement, music, and drama. And RAD VAN, which is an acronym for Recreation at Your Door, and I thought this was kind of cool. It's a mobile recreation program that brings recreation programs to low-income and high-risk kids aged 5 to 12 in their own neighborhoods. And finally, we also have the participation of Vida Sana, and it's a program created to address the health disparities in the Hispanic community. There are a number of free classes, activities, and drop-in gym or workout passes available through this program. Although the Hispanic community is targeted, all are welcome. So just kind of give you a little brief introduction to our centerpieces. And again, thank you to Northside and Lisa for giving us so much today. Now, to the first of a long line of important people here today, our Mayor, Doug Hutchinson. Please join me in giving him a warm welcome.
Well, welcome to today's festivities. It really is a pleasure and a privilege to support the Human Relations Commission as they recognize outstanding individuals and groups that have been nominated for the 2010 Human Relations Award, and also as they honor the memory of former Mayor Ann Azari. For over 2 decades, the City of Fort Collins Human Relations Commission has sponsored these Human Relations Awards to celebrate those in our community who promote acceptance and respect for diversity. In many cases, the nominees have been volunteers in the community for many, many years and in many different venues. I congratulate all of this year's nominees, and I applaud all of you for your volunteer work. Being nominated for such award is certainly an honor. We want Fort Collins to be a welcoming community for people of all races, backgrounds, ethnicities, and religions now and well into the future. Reaching across these barriers is not easy, and former Mayor Ann Azari worked tirelessly on making it easier for people of all degrees to connect. Your work and your commitment helps raise awareness for all of us in the community about the work that we still need to do. I'd like to offer special praise to the HRC for reaching out to the public, for putting on this event, for continuing to discuss these issues with the community, and for honoring Ann Azari. The HRC has made a special effort this year to collaborate with other community organizations involved in promoting non-discrimination. They've been working with many local groups in hopes of bringing together diverse views. I want to specifically recognize a few individuals. First, on behalf of the city, I want to once again thank the Human Relations Commission and their chair and vice chair, Maya Jairam and Kelly Evans. And we appreciate what you're doing. I met recently with Maya, and I'm very impressed with Maya, and I'm very impressed with her proactivity and creative thinking that she's bringing to the chairmanship. I'd also like to recognize and thank Paul Azari and members of the Azari family for coming this morning. And a sincere thanks to all the guests in attendance today. Great turnout, including past nominees and recipients of the Human Relations Award who've come to support this year's nominees. And I'd also like to especially thank all of you who sent in a nomination form. Without that thoughtfulness on your part, we would not have this opportunity to recognize and present awards to those who are truly deserving. And lastly, I applaud all of today's nominees for your ongoing commitment to advancing the cause of human rights in the Fort Collins community. Each of you has truly earned and is deserving of this award, so I want to congratulate you on behalf of the city of Fort Collins. Let me take a moment for some personal comments about former Mayor Ann Azari. Ann was a friend and an extraordinary mentor to me, and she was truly a friend to our city and to all the people of Fort Collins. She was a mentor to us all as well, both through her involvement as a lifelong civic leader in our community and through her participation in city government. Ann pushed pretty hard to do the right thing. She pushed me to be a better mayor. She helped me to better advance and protect the interests of Fort Collins, and I'm deeply grateful. Ann Azari was a caring, giving person who truly loved Fort Collins and who served as a committed community servant and a visionary leader. And Fort Collins was truly blessed to have in our midst an open, honest, intelligent woman like Ann, a truly engaged, civil, caring citizen. We have all benefited from her work and her vision. Fort Collins is a better place today in so many ways because of her, and it's truly fitting and proper that we honor her memory here today. Thank you very much.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Kay Rios. I've known Kay for many years and could go on for pages about both her professional and personal accomplishments. However, in the interest of brevity, I won't. Kay has a master's in communication development and a PhD in educational leadership from Colorado State University. Now a retired CSU employee, Kay is a freelance writer. Kay has been an active Fort Collins board and commission member for the past 20 years. Her service includes the Senior Advisory Board, the Affordable Housing Board, the Community Development Block Grant, and she's currently the vice chair of the CDBG Board. Kay has a special place in her heart for former Mayor Ann Azari. Their collaborative working relationship started very soon after Kay's service on the city's Charter Review Committee. Kay liked what she saw: Ann's philosophy of service and Ann's thoughts on the best way to effect change within the city, namely to participate in politics and the decision-making process. Kay's long-standing collaborative relationship with Ann spanned a couple of decades. Besides the synergistic working relationship they enjoyed, Kay collaborated with Ann on a number of articles. Kay expressed to me how thrilled she was to be able to honor Ann's memory today. Please help me in welcoming our 2010 keynote speaker, Kay Rios.
I'm very pleased to be here this morning and be able to honor Ann. She was my mentor, my role model, and best of all, my friend. You know, I don't remember when I met Ann or even how. She just always seemed to be part of my life. When I look back at the things we worked on, I can place it in somewhere in the early to mid-'80s, but it felt like I had always known her. She had such a great way of making people feel special. and also had the ability of stepping into any situation, making it her own and making it work. But it was never a means of being aggressive or pushy or loud. That wasn't her style. But make no mistake, Anne could definitely be firm and assertive and even very bold. I'm sure her kids can attest to that. And just think about the way she moves city council meetings along. You know, that's very difficult. It's often like herding a bunch of cats. It takes patience, a good sense of direction, and a strong vision. And interestingly enough, Anne once told me that's also what it takes to train a good dog. Anne exhibited all of those qualities. She certainly had patience. She knew where she wanted to go, and she was a visionary. As mayor, she was well known for her no-nonsense style of facilitation and also for her open-door policy. She was an incredible listener. She was never condescending or patronizing. Anne wanted to hear what everyone said, and she valued the difference in opinions and in approaches. She also understood that perspectives are often very ego and ethnocentric, and she believed that listening to other viewpoints would bring a clearer and more realistic view of the world. After a trip to Japan, she told me a story that began in 1945 when she was a young girl. Her family lived in Huntington Beach, California, not far from a military installation. One day when she was riding her horse, she heard the air raid siren sound. She raced back to the house, jumped off her horse, and ran inside to find out what had happened. Her mother was listening to the radio and said simply, "It's over," and remembered the relief she felt. She said she had felt threatened and scared for years, thinking the U.S. was going to be invaded and occupied by Japan, and now the war was finally over. She didn't really get what that meant until 5 decades later when she had a different perspective driven home. While she was in Japan, she saw replicas of the city before and after. She met survivors of the bomb, and she learned that she was not the only kid frightened by war. The survivors she talked to told her about their fears and shared their realities of living with a very real threat. And she realized how the young Anne had not fully understood the impact of the war or the fear that was so universal. She also saw Japanese children performing and singing for peace and understanding. For her, that reinforced the connection between countries, between cultures, and between people. She said, for the children's sake, we'd all better learn to solve problems in more productive ways. For her, that was the point of community. She said, it's not about politics. It's not geopolitics or any isms you may choose. It's really about the inability of humans to understand our real connectedness with each other. It's about freedom and responsibility and using technology appropriately. Everything Anne believed in and professed honored connections with others and the celebration of differences. That's why it's so fitting that she be remembered here today as part of the Human Relations Commission. For over 2 decades, the Human Relations Commission has championed diversity, understanding, and acceptance, and in that sense, the members of the Commission carry on Anne's work and keep her memory alive. She'd probably be a little embarrassed about being recognized today, because recognition wasn't why she worked so hard, but I think it would also make her smile, and especially if she knew I was still pushing her words around like I'd done in the past. I played editor and sometimes muse for her as we worked on her newspaper columns and releases, and that gave me the opportunity for great discussion with her and also provided some very intense realizations for myself. Anne had a way of inspiring those around her, and I was certainly inspired. I'd like to share something with you I pulled from a column she offered as a list of New Year's resolutions in 1995. Here are 5 suggestions for 1995. For problem solving, look for ways to do things better. Let's search for positive positions rather than negative ones. Be proactive. Put oughts and shoulds aside. Let's make clear, clean decisions. This year we will work towards solutions. If we have dilemmas we can't change at this time, let's acknowledge that and move on. The oughts and shoulds slow us down, wear us down, and keep us from action. Take part in city dialogue. Let's work hard together with everyone focused on building our city for the future. This will continue to be a great place if everyone offers their ideas. Who knows what may be missed if someone believes his or her thoughts don't count. Creating our future together, sharing our dreams, building our visions, and converting them to reality. This can get us on the road to a strong Northern Colorado city of influence. Value the opinions of others. We need to get beyond denigrating the opinions of those who don't agree with us. Having differing opinions and ideas is healthy. It's also critical to our success. Respect can help us see more perspectives and perhaps even reach a point when opposing ideas merge into a bigger and better idea. Look at the bigger picture. We are all in the picture as part of our environment, social, physical, cultural, and economic. Let's see ourselves as an integral part of the action around us. We all impact nature, and we are all part of a total system, not separate from it. We are all part of our social and economic systems, not separate from them. And even 15 years later, those are still ideas of great wisdom. Her ideas stand the test of time, as has the work that Anne accomplished, and as will the efforts the Human Rights Commission puts forth. Our success as a society, as a community, and as individuals rely on understanding and celebrating our differences and connecting with each other. And I'd like to leave you with some of Anne's words. The past is where we've done things all by ourselves. The future is where we are committed to work together. And together we will work through difficulties and across differences so we can continue to build a community for all people.
Given the number of nominees and limited time, plus the fact that we don't have an orchestra to interrupt speeches like that other award show, all nominees will be called up and recognized one at a time, given their awards, and in case of the award recipients for the particular category, their plaques. But again, for the sake of brevity, there will be no speeches. However, we do request that all recipients and nominees stay after the ceremony for like 10 to 15 minutes for photos. Now, for the main course, the nominees and awards. Joanne?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. My name is Joanne Janal, and I am the chair of the HRC's Education Committee. I have the honor of presenting the youth category, that is, those that are 18 and younger. They are being honored this morning for promoting acceptance and respect for diversity in the city of Fort Collins. And this year, we have 4 outstanding nominees. These young leaders of the Fort Collins community is one of the many reasons why I live in this city, and I'm sure you do too. When I call your name, could you please come up and receive your recognition, and then remain up here until all the nominees have been recognized. Okay? So, the first person nominated for the Youth Award is Jordan Fees of Fossil Ridge High. Jordan organized and facilitated a fundraiser for Salud Family Health Center. Salud is committed to serving low-income, medically underserved, and migrant seasonal farm worker populations. The clinic does not turn patients away based on their finances, insurance coverage, or ability to pay. Jordan partnered with Salud and the Rio Grande restaurant to hold a fundraiser event called Salsa for Salud. The evening was fun and a way to educate and show the importance of the need for the services of the Salud Clinic in our community. This event raised $2,000 for the clinic, and plans are already underway for another fundraiser in November of this year. Jordan, the HRC recognizes your achievements and dedication to this important need as a nominee for the 2010 Human Relations Youth Award. Thank you. Our next nominee is Alexander Krieger, and of Poudre High School IB program. And standing in for Alexandra is her father. Alex is outstanding in her commitment to community service. Alex is on the student community involvement team and is working on creating a safe shelter for homeless 18-year-olds and younger. She has also worked with fellow students to raise awareness of poverty and hunger in Fort Collins. She is dedicated to young people who are less fortunate and without family or friends' support. Alex's concern also goes a little bit beyond this for our community as well as our country. She has interned for both Barack Obama and Congresswoman Betsy Markey's campaigns, and the experiences she has had in this arena were challenging and made her aware of the variety of issues affecting so many people in Fort Collins and in the world. Alex, the HRC recognizes your achievements and dedication to these important needs of our community as a nominee for 2010 Human Relations Youth Award. Thank you. The next person is Josephine Davis. Josephine? Josephine is a student at Poudre High School, and throughout her life she has had to overcome obstacles of racism, of physical disability, just to name a few things. She's moved from a high school in Denver to Fort Collins, and she was harassed by her fellow students when she moved here. Josephine stood up to the challenge and worked to change the prejudices she was experiencing. She has played a major role in educating the youth and adults about the importance of diversity here in Fort Collins. She organized the first Black Student Alliance at Poudre High School and the Poudre School District. She has been president of the Black Student Alliance for 2 years and has experienced less racial attacks since that time. She has promoted acceptance and respect for diversity by organizing a guest speaker program on campus. She has taken a leadership role and has a positive impact on our community. In her own words, the key is not letting an obstacle hold you down, but instead twist it and find a way to make it a positive experience. Josephine, the HRC recognizes your achievements and your dedication to these important needs in our community as a nominee for the 2010 HRC Youth Awards. Thank you. And our award recipient today is Rohan Goll. Rohan, can you come up here, please? Rohan has made a difference in our community in helping children with special needs. As a sophomore at Poudre High School IB, Rohan designed and built a Dr. Seuss-themed children's playhouse, which was auctioned as a benefit for respite care. He gave it a title, By Kids, For Kids, Helps Kids. The playhouse was built out of recycled materials and donations from Fort Collins area businesses. He spent more than 150 hours on this project and made it a colorful and environmentally friendly dreamland for young children. It even had electricity. Rohan recognized that children with special needs have a harder time being taken care of if a family emergency occurs. And that's when respite care steps in. The nonprofit provides before and after school care, emergency care, and vacation care for people from birth to 21 who have special needs. Respite care serves 130 families in Larimer County, and it receives its funding from local donations and a sliding scale fee for children. No family, however, is turned away because of their finances. Rohan's efforts in this playhouse raised $7,000 for respite care. This year he is designing and building another playhouse. He is also forming his own nonprofit, along with other students. Rohan has made a positive contribution to the special needs children of the Fort Collins community, and I am honored to present him with the 2010 Human Relations Youth Award. Congratulations, Rohan.
My name is Karen Buchanan, and it is indeed a privilege and an honor for me to share with you the wonderful people who were nominated in the Adult Award category. As a member of the selection committee, I can assure you we had a very, very difficult decision before us. We had 7 excellent nominees. So bear with me, I'll be speaking about 7 people this morning. And as a result of having that many excellent nominees, we actually have selected 2 recipients of the Human Relations Award this morning. So before I tell you about them, I want to recognize each of the other nominees. So again, as Joanne said, when your name is called, please come forward and please stay here until everyone has been recognized in this category. First nominee is A Day Now. Aday is an active student at CSU. His major is political science and international studies with a focus on the Middle East. He has a minor in history and has earned a certificate in Arabic language. He is also bilingual. Aday's leadership in CSU includes the following volunteer activities. He's a cabinet member of the CSU Student Senate, who has been appointed the Director of Diversity and Outreach. In this role, Aday works with campus organizations, such as the Council of International Student Affairs and the Office of International Programs. Together, the Student Senate and these organizations are co-sponsoring a number of programs, including World Unity Fair, Friday Afternoon Club, the ASCSU Diversity Conference, and the High School Leadership Conference. He is also a leader who has spearheaded his fraternity's efforts to collect the most food and cash donations out of all the Greek organizations on campus for the Food Bank's fundraiser, Cans Around the Oval. He has also worked with City Council member Diggs Brown on a citywide effort to clean up graffiti. He is a member of Team Fort Collins, which engages in a variety of programs to assist adults, families, and children in the community. One such successful event is organizing student chaperones for the Splash Dance at the Senior Center. He has collaborated with two nonprofit organizations, the Heart Center, also known as Helping All Recover Together, and Project Smile, to provide an educational presentation to over 300 CSU students. He is a participant in CSU Unity Day, in which over 2,000 students gather to provide a day of service to the Fort Collins community. Activities include planting trees, painting houses, and much more. And also, finally, in his long list, he is a participant in Ram Ride, which provides CSU students with a sober ride home. Please join me in recognizing Aday Naum for his achievements in advancing respect and appreciation for diversity, as well as positively contributing to our community. Next nominee is Caroline To Farley. Caroline has been an active volunteer and civic leader promoting respect and appreciation for diversity and creating a more inclusive community here in Fort Collins for the last 25 years. Among her many accomplishments are the following. She is one of the founding members of Not in Our Town Alliance, also known as NIOTA, which seeks to provide educational programs and awareness regarding anti-hate crimes, campaigns, programs, and events in the community. As part of her involvement in NIOTA, Caroline has served in the following capacities. She has been a council member for over 5 years. She is a prevention team member, and she also serves on the Community Book Club. Caroline has also been a facilitator for the Community Response Seminar for the Mountain States Conference on Cults, Gangs, and Hate Groups. She is also a former member of the Human Relations Commission, and she served in the capacity of Vice Chair, Education Chair, and a member of the Media and Community Recognition Committee. Caroline has also given her name, her time, and talents to Asian American organizations, political organizations, the Food Bank, and Rivendell School. Please join me in recognizing Caroline To Farley for her long-standing dedication to respecting and appreciating diversity in our community. Next is Colleen Ghibli Reed. Colleen is a trainer for the Larimer County DHS Children, Youth, and Families Division. She has a BSW degree and is passionate about working with vulnerable children in the child welfare system. She spent a few years working in child protection and has since moved into specialized work providing training and support to foster parents. She developed an effective training program for these foster parents called Pride. Part of this training incorporates the values of respect for diversity, cultural sensitivity, and a functional understanding of how children's previous maltreatment impacts their current behavior. Presently, Colleen is working on her master's degree in social work and is developing a new position at Larimer County DHS to provide training for casework services. She also serves on the board for Crossroads Safe House. Please join me in recognizing Colleen Ghibli Reed for her tireless efforts to make the world a safer and better place for vulnerable children. Our next nominee is Julia Price. Julia is the Cultural Competency Specialist for the Larimer Center for Mental Health. She has been instrumental to the growth of the center since 2008 and has developed into a vital resource for both clients and staff. As the cultural competency specialist, Julia is always on the lookout for events that expand the minds of others. She schedules culturally diverse training programs and encourages her colleagues to be open-minded and non-judgmental when they are faced with unfamiliar situations. She expresses her acceptance of all cultural norms, and her definition of diversity is wide and encompasses many peoples, rituals, cultures, practices, faiths, perspectives, and experiences. Julia has been invaluable in fostering a collaborative relationship with the Lambda Center to provide necessary treatment services to an underserved population. Finally, Julia is knowledgeable about current events in the community designed to promote and to build cultural awareness and understanding, and she provides information on these events to the staff. Please join me in recognizing Julia Price for her vigilant efforts to educate others on the importance of accepting and respecting individual differences. Our next nominee is Maria Montano. Maria is a professional photographer who for the past 4 years has used her photography to bring awareness to sexual assault in Larimer County through the Faces Project. This project is a photo exhibit sponsored by the Sexual Assault Victim Advocate Center, or SAVA, featuring photos of sexual assault survivors along with personal statements. And in addition to her involvement on the Faces Project, Maria also contributes her time in the following ways. She facilitates a support group for transgender individuals in Larimer County and beyond. She participates in panel and classroom discussions on transgender issues, and she serves as a mentor to a Fort Collins High School student. Please join me in recognizing Maria Montano for her positive contributions to this community through her involvement in projects and programs that advance the acceptance of and respect for diversity. At this time, I'd like to ask Shawna Bode and Laura Dospa to please come forward. Both of these women are this year's recipient of the Human Relations Award, and we'd like to share with you some of their distinguished accomplishments and positive contributions to our community. Shawna Bode. Shawna is a homemaker and substitute teacher for Shepherdson Elementary School. She has taught over 100 students in the past 3 years the value of giving back and inspiring these young students to become passionate global citizens. She teaches children to be more respectful of one another and others, both locally and internationally. The program through which these children are contributing to others is the O Ambassador Club. Shawna established this club at Shepherdson in 2007 from seed money received from Oprah's Angel Network. And under Shawna's guidance, leadership, and enthusiastic support, this group of children has done some pretty amazing accomplishments. And let me tell you, that list was long, so hopefully I'm hitting the key highlights here. But among them are the following. They organized the Shepherdson's Gives program the last 3 years, and some of the results from this event alone were the following. Collecting thousands of snacks and hundreds of clothing items for homeless children in the Poudre School District. They made and sent cards to local soldiers overseas. They decorated bags and delivered food to homebound citizens through the Meals on Wheels program. They also organized their school's CSU Hands Around the Oval Drive. They created a kindness tree for students to add a leaf to the tree whenever they have done something respectful or made a difference for others. They raised over $5,000 selling reusable shopping bags. Now, not only did the bags help the environment, but the money raised was used to help build a school in Ecuador. They are spreading the message of the importance of diversity through guest speakers, sharing information about their home countries. They've also created a PowerPoint presentation to provide awareness of world poverty and the necessity for all children to receive an education. They raised over $1,500 to help pipe clean water into a community in Ecuador. They created an artwork and a cloth banner representing diversity and hope that hangs in the Sister Alice Murphy Center for Hope. They raised over $370 that was donated to the McKinney Homeless Education Program, and that money was used to help 2 local families who were in desperate need of medical and dental care. They raised another $1,100 for Pennies for Peace, which was then matched by the Bohemian Foundation. And last but certainly not least, these children are featured on the Free the Children's International website and in the book called The World Needs Your Kid, How to Raise Children Who Care and Contribute by Mark and Craig Kielberger and Shelley Page. Please join me in recognizing Shawna for her extraordinary efforts and commitment to encourage and develop the children she works with today to be tomorrow's leaders and instilling the message that no one is ever too young to make a difference. Congratulations. Our second recipient of the Human Relations Award is Laura Dospa. Laura is an English language outreach worker, easy for me to say, for the Poudre School District who consistently goes above and beyond the call of duty to be the voice for those who don't have a voice. These were words of advice her father had given her when she was a child. So, Laura is passionate about being a voice for others who may be silenced based on their status within the community or because of a language barrier. Laura gives residents, particularly undocumented community members, the respect and dignity they deserve. She takes advantage of opportunities to help educate residents, administrators, and educators in promoting acceptance, understanding, and respect for diverse populations within our community. Some of Laura's many accomplishments, and hopefully I am doing her justice here, are the following. She continuously sharpens her skills to mentor youth by participating in training and workshops. She is involved in the publicity and coordination of parent-teacher conferences. She serves as a communication liaison and translator between Spanish-speaking parents and English-speaking administrators, teachers, and counselors in a wide range of areas, including student attendance concerns, conferences, meetings, and school district policies. She translates documents from English to Spanish for district personnel. She assists the district nurse to ensure students receive required vaccinations. She's organized and supervises Soccer Hour during the lunch period, which provides students with the incentive to be in school and a sense of belonging. She set up a snack closet for students who are unable to have breakfast at home. She proctors AP Spanish exams and other student assessments. And she serves as a knowledgeable and invaluable resource to students and their families by being well-versed on issues pertaining to the legal system, being a student advocate, and coordinating transportation for students and parents to various local resource agencies. And finally, she has developed positive public relations between the Poudre School District and the City of Fort Collins. Please join me in recognizing Laura Dospa for the rapport and compassion she has demonstrated toward others, especially our Latino community, which has resulted in increased participation from parents in the school system and a greater graduation rate among Latino students. Congratulations, Laura. And congratulations to all our nominees. As I said, an outstanding group of people, and our decision was a tough one. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Jason Teal, who will be speaking with all of you and recognizing the nominees in our senior category.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jason Teal. I am the chair of the Government Relations Committee on the Human Relations Commission. I couldn't fit it all on the name tag, so there you go. I will be presenting the senior awards this morning. And it's my belief that society has always looked to its elders to teach it strength in times of adversity, patience in times of trial, sacrifice in times of need, and compassion in times of confusion. It's my honor this morning to present the following individuals for nominees for the 2010 HRC Award in the senior category. These individuals stand out amongst their peers for their tireless efforts in promoting diversity, acceptance, understanding, and compassion. Even though only one gets to take home the award, all deserve our gratitude and our respect. The first nominee this morning is Dennis Baker. Dennis is being recognized for his work with the Fort Collins Citizen Review Board. Dennis's calm demeanor and cool head helped him navigate difficult and emotionally charged situations. Dennis saw to it that any person who felt wronged was heard, respected, and given their fair consideration. Thank you. Our next nominee is Florence Field. Is anyone accepting on behalf of Florence this morning? Nope. Okay. Well, we'll make sure Florence gets her recognition. Florence is being recognized for her work as secretary of the Northern Colorado chapter of the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. At a young age, Florence was subject to the trials of a Japanese internment camp. This experience gave her a passion for social justice and led her down a path of lifelong service to the ACLU, the League of Women Voters, and to the community as a whole. Her passion and enthusiasm continues to inspire the younger members of these organizations, fortunate enough to count her among their membership roll. So, an applause for Florence. Our next nominee this morning is Harry Edwards. Harry was nominated in recognition for his 8 years of service to the Fort Collins Citizen Review Board. Harry is known by his peers for his compassion and respect demonstrated during difficult times. Harry has devoted 8 years of service to our community. He continues to serve our city, and we are fortunate to have him. Our final nominee and the winner of the 2010 Senior Award for the HRC Awards is Alan Beatty. Alan is being recognized today by the Fort Collins Senior Advisory Board for his heartwarming work advocating for disabled citizens, as well as his time spent visiting nursing homes, senior centers, and independent living facilities, bringing his own unique style of joy and entertainment. Encounter Alan on the street or on the transport system, and you are sure to be the recipient of a beaming smile, a hearty hello, and a friendly ear. Thank you for your service. Our next category is the organization category.
I'm Marcia McConnell Ranch, and I have the privilege to present to you 4 outstanding organizations in our community who are nominated for the 2010 Human Relations Commission Award. Our first nominee is the Northern Colorado AIDS Project. Will representatives for that project please come forward? For over 20 years, the Northern Colorado AIDS Project has been providing services to those living with HIV. In fact, they have been a pioneering organization in that regard in our community. Their mission is to stop the spread of HIV and to end the stigma associated with it for those living with HIV. Working with populations that tend to be marginalized, the Northern Colorado AIDS Project provides valuable support, advocacy, and a wealth of resources for HIV-affected individuals, their families, and friends. Thank you to the dedicated staff and associates of the Northern Colorado AIDS Project. The next nominee is Pathways Hospice. Will representatives for Pathways Hospice please come forward? Pathways Hospice has been providing hospice services in Northern Colorado for 3 decades. Just as babies receive kind care and attention at birth, Pathways Hospice strives to provide quality support and care to persons transitioning from this life. They also offer bereavement counseling and support to their families. Staff members are culturally sensitive and incorporate respect for diversity in their philosophy and services. This organization also demonstrates an embodied commitment to its employees' welfare, recognizing that quality service is founded on mutual respect and in the fostering and maintaining of a healthy work and personal life balance. We're glad to have this opportunity to recognize the excellent work of Pathways Hospice staff and volunteers. Our next nominee is Rocky Mountain High School Connection Club. Rocky Mountain High School Connection Club was established in 1998 to better integrate special needs students with their peers. Student volunteers and special needs students meet weekly to participate in a variety of activities which provide both learning and fun to all of the members. An annual highlight is the prom, in which all club members participate to make prom a meaningful and fun experience for everyone. The Connection Club changes the lives of all the participants as they experience the value of an inclusive society. We congratulate the Connection Club students and their faculty sponsors for their visionary collaboration. And will members of the Rocky Mountain Resource Center please come forward? Our organization award for 2010 goes to the Rocky Mountain Resource Center, which is a not-for-profit organization funded in 1981 to reduce violence in our community. They sponsor educational programs and trainings and have developed award-winning presentations about violent gangs, cults, and hate groups. A well-stocked library of relevant materials is maintained at their center and is available to the public. Assistance is available to individuals and families who are affected by hate and violence. Monthly reports are published to inform us about area events. Staffed entirely by volunteer efforts, the Rocky Mountain Resource Center positively affects 25,000 people in our community each year. We salute the outstanding work and mission of the Rocky Mountain Resource Center for promoting acceptance and respect for diversity in our community. So again, we appreciate all of your organizations and the great work they are doing that contribute to the value of life in our community.
So, here we are at the end of another HRC Awards breakfast. It is so inspiring to see all of these groups and people who give so much back to our community. This year's celebration was in honor of a woman who did so much for Fort Collins and its citizens, and it truly is an honor to continue on the work that she was so passionate about, and to see it exemplified in all of our nominees and recipients this year. So, with that, the HRC and I would like to say thank you for all of your work, your dedication, and your time, and for coming out this morning. Together, we make Fort Collins the great place that it is. And we would like to give a special thank you to Rebecca O'Donnell. Becky, where are you? She's back there. You saw her in the front, and now she's in the back. And Angelina, who's not here today, Angelina Sanchez-Sprague, for all their help, and to Kent, who put this whole thing together. He was in charge, so another great success. And again, thank you so much, and if the award recipients and nominees wouldn't mind staying for a few minutes, we'd greatly appreciate it. Enjoy breaking bread, and enjoy the rest of your day and weekend.